Good evening, venerable monks, nuns, and my Dhamma friends. So now we start our class this evening, right? So can you hear me clearly?
Good evening, teacher.
Good evening.
Good evening, teacher, and everybody.
Good evening, venerable monks, nuns, and my Dhamma friends. So now we start our class this evening, right? Then we continue working on this, working on Abhidhamma, right? And I found that like there are some groups, some teams, and many members, right, are busy this period. And I just received the assignments from 4 teams, I think. Then how about so again, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes. Yes, we can hear you, teacher.
Now I'm in Dalat, and this place, the internet connection is quite weak, right? So anyway, we try our best to conduct this class, right? Okay, so we are going to work on Abhidhamma again, right? This is second, and we focus on the application of the Abhidhamma in daily life. And Abhidhamma actually something is quite strange, quite new to many people, but somehow like we try to learn step by step. You get more knowledge and be familiar with the Abhidhamma, right? And there's many members quite busy this period, and also some teams didn't submit the assignment, and I didn't receive any question or any feedback, right? And information from your team, right? So anyway, like try, if you cannot continue to work or you are busy, something, right? Should inform me. I shouldn't keep silent like this, right? Happy New Year and New You. Okay. So this evening we have 2 teams, team 2 and 1 support team. We also present the application of Abhidhamma in daily life. Now let's get started. So team 2, are you ready?
Yes, teacher, we are ready. So I will raise my hand so that you can share the cohorts. I share the screens for the class.
Okay, please raise your Zoom hands, right? Can I see you? Okay.
Dear Venerable Lệ Duyên, can you raise your hand as well so that the teacher can unmute you?
Lệ Duyên, right? Okay.
Dear teacher, you already seen my screen share? Hello? Hello? Is everybody already seen my my slide yet? Hello. 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 Can everybody hear me clear?
Yes.
Yeah. It seems that our teacher has some weak connection or something. I cannot hear our teacher voice. Hello, teacher. Have you been back yet? Hello, teacher. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm back.
Yes. Yes. So, good evening, teacher and everyone. So first of all, I would like to wish you a happy new year and full with good health, happiness, and we will have a good progress in our studying and practicing Dhamma. And
this evening, our team 2, including myself and our nuns Lệ Duyên, we will gonna share with you some understanding about Abhidhamma in daily life. Our presentation will cover the following parts. The first one is introduction. The second is overview of Abhidhamma. The third one is Abhidhamma in daily life. And the last one is conclusions. So I would like to move to the first part, the overview of Abhidhamma. So in the Tipitaka, the Abhidhamma contains 42,000 Dhamma. And the pronouns Abhidhamma had two parts. Abhi means the sublime and Dhamma. And the word Dhamma is a very broad term that is used in many different ways. It's depending on the situation, but in generally speaking, it is something that has its own state of being perceptible to perceptions. And here we have like what is Dhamma? So everything is Dhamma. And what is the state of Dhamma? Whatever the state is, it is also the Dhamma. And in Abhidhamma, the Dhamma are divided into two parts. The concept is the Sammutisatya and the ultimate reality. And this is the Paramastasatya. I am sorry.
So you can quit your solo on computer, then you can continue, right?
I'm so sorry. I just been back now. So in the Abhidhamma, the Dhamma are divided into the two: the concept, the Sammutisatya, and the ultimate reality, the Paramatthasatya. And these two Dhamma fully encompass all Dhamma in the world. And now I would like to make these two to be clear. The concept, the Sammutisatya, is the common truth according to the situations. Things by the words using language to convention and express things and phenomena is including the established names and institutional meanings. And how about the ultimate reality, the Paramatthasatya? That is the truth. That is true to its own and never changes. And this is the absolute truth and the true reality of the secular truth. The reason why the Abhidhamma is profound and difficult to understand is because it mainly presents the true meanings of the Dhamma. And as on the chart, you can see that the Dhamma, we have 215 Dhamma, and it's divided into two: the Sammutisatya, including 13 parts, and Paramatthasatya, including 202. In this presentation, we will focus on the Paramatthasatya, or in Vietnamese we call Pháp Chân Đế, and we will go through the Asankhatha, Pháp Vô Vi, Nibbana, and the Sankhatha, Pháp Hữu Vi. And under the Sankhatha, is divided into the rupa and the nama. And in the rupa, in Vietnamese Sắc we have the 28 parts, and in the nama we have Danh Pháp, we have 173 parts. And under the nama we have the Chitta and the Cetasika, this when a chitta arises, so it will go following with a Cetasika. And in our presentation today, we will share with you about the chitta, the mind. The mind is the perception components of sentient being. It is the knowing, the seeing or perceiving the objects, and it has 121 minds. And the Cetasika, we also call the mental state. That is the dependent component of the mind, and it covers and death with the mind. And the rupa is an inanimate material component with the nature of change and destruction, and it's including the four elements: is the earth, the water, the air, and the fire. And how about the nibbana? The nibbana is also known as the unconditioned Dhamma, and it has a quiet essence, cases to arise and disappears, and is no longer subject to the three characteristics of impermanence, sufferings, and non-self, like the conditioned Dhamma. Let's have a look on the 121 chitta. You know that it have in this chitta we have four main parts. The first one is the 54 minds. Is in the desire realm, and 15 chitta is belong to the form realms, and the formless realm has 12, and we have 40 mind is belong to the supramundane minds. And we in this presentation we will just focus on the 12 akusala chitta here, whereas we have the 8 lopa mula chitta, 2 dosa mula chitta, and 2 moha mula chitta. And also we make clear about the 8 mahakusala chitta, because as you know that we are living in the desire realm, so we will make clear on this kind of chitta, so that we can get this into the application in our daily life. And what is the akusala chitta? That is the immoral consciousness, because akusala means the immoral. People usually commit with an evil deeds with the akusala chitta. So akusala chitta bear bad result, and the 12, including the 8 lopa mula chitta. The mulas mean that the roots, and the chitta is the mind or the consciousness, and the lopa is the risk or attachment, also craving. So 8 lopa mula chitta is the consciousness rooted in risk or attachments, and 2 dosa mula chitta is the 2 consciousness rooted in hatred or ill wills, and 2 moha mula chitta is the consciousness rooted in ignorance or delusions. And we also have a kusala chitta. It means that the moral consciousness. The kusala means the moral, the Buddhist, and the kusala chitta bear the good result. So I have just shared with you an overview about Abhidhamma. So how we apply this understanding into our practice in our daily life. So I would like to invite our Nun Lệ Duyên. She will share with us more detail on this topic. So Nun Lệ Duyên, are you ready?
Yes. Thank you, Ms. Hoài My, for sharing some details about Abhidhamma. In this, there are very profound terms difficult to fully understand if we do not study them thoroughly. However, if we really close and apply it in our daily life, we will get a lot of benefits. As a Greek scholar, Miss Grace Davis said, learning the Abhidhamma, we know that we know what is happening within us, outside of us, and around us. What it means, the Buddha taught that the constitution of human beings, or more properly sentient beings, consists of the sets of Nama and Rupa, which are called the five aggregates. Thus, learning about the Abhidhamma, we will better understand the components that make up a person on both psychological and physical aspects. Regarding the physical body, the Buddha taught that this body belongs to Rupa because of the happenings of the four elements. These represent the hard parts of the body, such as hands, teeth, nails, liquids such as blood, saliva, water. Wind is a movement of breathing, and without fire, the body temperature. As for psychology, the Buddha talks about the mind and the mental state, from which we know the cause of the existence and the solution of our mind, and what Dhamma have reached good and bad citta. When we know the mind really like that, we try to control to avoid the operations of unwholesome citta, and when the mind is wholesome, when our work and action are also right, so that karma is also right, and we reap many good results in our present and future life. A question is arises as to why we have to understand ourselves, because only when we understand the working structure of the body and mind, we stop linking to it, because humans belong to concept Dhamma. They have three common characteristics: impermanence, suffering, and no self. What's outside of us and around us? They are the permanence of rise and passing away from sentience world and inanimate world. Example, the house behind call properly, even vast nature such as the river, mountains, height, or the affection between parents and children, husband and wife, brother and sister, are not sustainable. Always changing because everything is temporarily governed by the law of impermanence. From about analysis, I would like to talk a few important benefits when learning Abhidhamma, which that the practitioner will identify what is the ultimate reality, what is the concept. We will not be confused and clearly see all things as they are without getting clouds of informed knowledge about the world and people. Through the ultimate reality, the practitioner understanding Sankhata and Asankhata, explore with the certain temporality of the mundane life, diligently practice every decade from will, braving consist and library suffering in samsara. Nesting clearly number and Rupa appear clearly through the three character of impermanent suffering in themselves, which is the cause of forming human being and own permanence in the world. Shall not still blinking suffering when facing before the same. One more thing, if we know the world working of the mind and mental state, we know how to practice address them to be wholesome, remove the unwholesome, and develop them to the purify. Finally, when one understands myself, then the meditator clearly knows their appearance is due to the harmony of the four elements: earth, water, fire. We change on the time and don't last forever. Just now I have shared with you about the application of Abhidhamma in daily life. Now I will come to conclusion. I would like Ms. Honey continues.
So thank you very much, Nan Lệ Duyên. Just had shared with us some understanding about the applications of Abhidhamma in our daily life. And now I would like to have a conclusion. So you see that studying Abhidhamma will give us a basic foundation for the details analysis and clear explanations of the Sankhata, and then for which only the Nibbana is the true state of peace that every practitioner needs the Dhamma to aim for. And Abhidhamma also have the practitioners to in the when they practice inside meditation, and they will discern clearly in contemplating the objects of the body, feelings, mind, and the dhammas. So I have just shared with you some basic understanding about the applications of Abhidhamma in the daily life. As you know, that Abhidhamma is a very deep and very profound and very wise topic. So as in our understanding, I just share with you just some basic understanding, and I hope that our teacher and our teammates, our classmates, will also share with us some more understanding about this. That is our presentation today. And if you have some questions, you can raise your question, and we will try our best to answer. Thank you very much for your listening. Yeah.
Thanks for the presentation of Team 2. You have very good preparation, and also show us some benefits of learning Abhidhamma, right? Okay, so do you have any question for Team 2? Any questions? Okay. If you have any questions, please raise your hands. Okay, so I have one questions for team 2. I found that you have one word like Sankata. Can you explain what does it mean?
Yes, teacher. So let's move back to the let's move back to the diagram.
Yeah.
Yes. We have the Sankhata is belonging to the Paramasta Satya. And as you know that when we still in the Sankhata, it means that it's still changing. It's our mind and it still keep changing. If only we go to the Nibbana, that is the fully enlightenment state, where there is no more changing. That is the ultimate. When you reach already the ultimate reality, if you still in the Sankhata, you still like we have Rupa, or we have Nama, we have Chitta, or Cetasika. So on this still it changes, and it also have the characteristic of the impermanence, the suffering, and the non-self. So during the Vipassana meditation, so this will help us when we learn about Abhidhamma. So we apply this understanding in our Vipassana meditation. So you will have a more deeply understanding, and you can separate it between the Chitta or the Cetasika when they rising, when they staying, and when they passing away. So you will have like it will support you a lot in your practice. That is our answer, teacher. I hope you will give us more understanding about this topic. Thank you so much.
There's one point like about Chitta, right? Actually, there are 2 types of classification: 81 Chittas or 121, right? So do you know how to count 81 or 121?
Actually, we have two type of classification. Means why there is 89 chitta or 121 chitta, and it will have like difference in the last one is the lokustara chitta. That is the super mindrance. It means tâm. This one is tâm siêu thế gian. We have not yet have a deep research on this kinds of chitta, because in this our presentation we focus on the Kamavakara chitta, mean that's where we living here. I mean the cõi dục giới, and then another chitta is belonging to another this one is the formless realms. So I hope that this one is the supras mindrance chitta. So I hope our teacher will give us some support and some help in this in this, so that we can have a deeper understanding. Thank you.
Okay, great, thank you. Okay, again. So we will discuss more about this later. Actually, from this point, like, to give too much details about the number of dhammas, right? The chitta is quite difficult for all of us, especially so many newbies, right? So somehow we know in general, and later if you really spend time to study Abhidhamma, then you can study deeper, right? And then you know the number, how to number, the classification, and also the explanations of so many points. Anyway, so our course, right, just have a general knowledge about Abhidhamma, right? And we can get some point how to apply in our daily life. Okay, so again, thanks for the presentation of team 2. And now the turn for team, the support team, right? So, so Miss Mariette and Thảo, you ready?
Yes.
Okay, please.
Okay. Good evening, teacher in Dharma friends. To continue to Abhidharma, I would like to tell you the continue of Abhidharma in daily life. A brief summary. So I'm Phương Thảo. My my first part is why the mind should be reformed, and why the mind should be reformed, and there are many reasons why we should reform our mind. We also notice the weakness and faults of our minds. Even though some good people at high started in worldly affairs, if they can even mean or based in moral character, they will be point in law of both in their next existence, as they thus be looked down upon by their intimates. Moreover, the weak will be weak not only in the present existence, their evil nature will continue to revolve successfully in many future existence. And we have 14 akusala citasika, unwholesome mental factor. There is a great wrongdoing, pride, ignorance, shamelessness, recklessness, restlessness, hate, jealousy, selfishness, worry, sloth, terror, doubt. In Vietnamese is vô minh, vô tàm, vô quý, tán loạn, tham, tà kiến, kiêu mạn, sân hận, ganh tị, đố kỵ, hối tiếc, biến nhát, trễ nải, hôn trầm và nghi ngờ. Citasika is determine the mind. It becomes good or evil accordingly under the influence of good or evil mental factor. Mental factor associated with the mind induce it to become good or evil. And we continue to the good mental factor to two is a kusala citasika, wholesome mental factor. Is faith, mindfulness, moral morality, generosity, goodwill, wisdom, loving kindness, compassion, sympathetic joy, equanimity, right action, right livelihood, and right speech. In Vietnamese is so tính tỉnh giác, tàn sự biết hổ thẹn khi có lỗi lầm, quý sự lo sợ về lỗi lầm, vô tham, vô sân, vô si, từ bi, hỷ, xả, chánh ngữ, chánh nghiệp, chánh mạng. Yes. And we have 13 citasika tâm sở associated with both wholesome and unwholesome mind citta. There is thought, sensation, perception, volition, concentration on one subject, like vitality, attention, thought, application, certain application, resolution, effort, joyful, satisfaction, will, in Vietnamese is xúc, thọ, tri giác, ý hành, định, mạng căn, sức sống đều hợp mọi hoạt động, chú tâm, tác ý, nhiếp ý, quyết ý, nỗ lực, tội ý, ý chí. Yes. And for Jarita, the habitual conduct of play habits strongly and weakly from to one's characteristic. As it's difficult to tell the bad mind of those who have amassed bad traits in the past life. Their basic nature, iron nature, devout nature, faithful nature, intelligent nature, wandering nature. In Vietnamese is yes. In Vietnamese they are 6 là tập khí là tham tập khí, sân, si, tính, minh tập khí, tác ý tập khí của người quá đắn đo suy nghĩ. Yes. Tendency to proliferate bad habits even more by carries out mental defilement. By the position Vasana based on morality of good, this is classified as Samachanda, wholesome wish. This Vasana is inherent in the moral continuum of all beings, causing your past karma action. If you have cultivated greed along with them, your Vasana will not be risky in nature. If you do not reform this bad tendency in this accident, Ragacharita Vasana will continue to dominate you in your future births as well. Those are Moha and Vitaka character also will continue to dominate likewise. And if you are in the Vipanya character now, and if you cultivate wisdom continually, this tendency will reduce its own result here and hereafter. You will be reborn a person with Panya in forthcoming accident. Yes. And 5, there's 10 domains of meritorious action is charity, morality, meditation, giving due respect to others, rendering service and assistance, sharing merit, rejoicing and appreciation of merits of others, listening to Dharma, teaching Dharma to others, right belief. In Vietnamese is bố thí, trì giới, hành thiền, kính lễ đối với mọi người, như ích, hồi hướng, tùy hỷ, tính pháp, giải pháp, sống tính. Thank you, and we can follow the next part with Miss Hu. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Thảo, for shortly summarizing all the Chitta and Cetasikas. Hello, classmate and teacher. Just one note, our method for this presentation is to summarize important points in the book, Abhidhamma in Daily Life. So in my part, there will be quite a number of points. I would just read from my taking notes because this topic is a bit heavy for me to tell from my own experience. So next is karma. As we know, Abhidhamma discusses a lot on karma. Karma means the action and the deed that we make. And there are 3 kinds of factors that we can see where karma is expressed, that is from thought, from word, and from physical action. In Vietnamese is ý, khẩu, và thân khẩu ý. And Chetana Cetasika, which is tâm sở tư, is the most important Cetasika to express the karma. And in all the Cetasika, tâm sở tư, the Chetana, is the busiest and the most active of all the Cetasikas. And there is another concept called karma force, which is the dynamic forces of all the deeds that we have made in our past. And the karma force is accumulated through the time, and it continues in the flow of our khandha. Khandha is ong, and we have 5 khandhas, ngũ ong. And in our existence, which is the continuum of khandha, the karma force is accumulated and flows from one life to the next. And the karma force is difficult to see. We don't know where it is stored, but it is there. We can understand the karma force like a tree. We don't know where the fruit will come out, but there will be fruit coming if there are enough conditions. So whenever one produces one karma, the person gets the direct effects from it. There are different ways how one will experience karma coming. So in the book, they list out some of the situation. First, participants share the same karma effect. So if a group of people doing one good deed together, for example, giving money for donation, then this good deed will come back to all of them together. Or there is indirect consequences of akusala karma. So let's say, for an example, one person who plans to rob a family, and this robber asks for help from different people to come into the house. So those who help the robber to come into the house will probably receive in the future the indirect consequences of akusala karma. And so on, there will be the case of ill effect on others, usually relatives. It means that instead of punishing this person who does a bad deed, karma comes to his family members. So it's a kind of punishment to make that person feel unhappy or feel worried or feel sad for his family members. That can be one way that karma comes. And the next situation is even though 2 persons make the same karma, but they receive different results. The metaphor of this situation is like salt. When the same amount of salt, when it is put into a small glass of water, it is salty. But when it's put in a river, it's not salty. So depending on how much good karma you have done, can you balance with the bad karmas. Next, there are 2 more concepts related to karma. For good karmas to come, you need condition for sufficiency or for prosperity. In Pali, is called sampati. And for the bad karmas to come, there are conditions for deficiency or misfortune. Pali is vipatti. So the 4 factors are, number 1, gati. Gati sampati means you are born in a good plane of existence, which is the 7 good planes from the human plane and above to the deva planes. In the opposite, if you are born in a woeful plane, the 4 bad planes of existence, as the ghost, the atula, the animals or hells, then your good karmas have no condition to come. And the second factor is upati sampati, which means you have pleasant physical features when you are born. So if you have good features, you are good looking, you have all the hands and the legs and the ears, mouth, everything fully, then it's a condition to attract the karmas, or it's the condition for good karmas to be expressed. But in the opposite, if you have upati, vipati, which is unpleasant physical features, then you tend to be at a disadvantage, and bad karmas have the condition to be expressed. The third factor is kala sampati, which is to be born, to be reborn at a suitable time. Suitable time can be understood as you are born in a time where there are dharma from the Buddha, or there are good people around with morality, or in your country there are good leaders who think for the welfare of the citizens, something like these conditions. And at the opposite, if you are born in a kala vipati, not at the suitable time, then for example, in North Korea, where you don't have access to internet, and you have a leader who only thinks about himself, so you have less conditions to improve your knowledge or to have access to the Dhamma and to train your mind to reach deliverance or Nibbana. And the last factor is Payoga Sampati, which means you have, when you are born, you have the means or instruments to improve your knowledge, and you can work hard. So it's a very important condition, and it is one of the conditions that we can decide for ourselves. We cannot choose which plane of existence to be born in. We cannot choose if we are born with good physical features, or we cannot choose which suitable time to be born in. But for the fourth factor, we can decide that we want to improve our knowledge, we want to work hard, and we want to practice mindfulness. So with these actions coming from our intention, we can actually stop akusala karma to be expressed in our time. Of course, we cannot stop every of them, but with our hard working, we can balance with akusala karma. And for each citizen, if they work hard, if they try to study, they can bring prosperity to the country, and they can also ensure that they are healthy bodily, and that gives the condition to improve their health mentally. So the last factor, again, is the easiest factor for us to change our life and to get better in our training. And in the opposite, if we are born with the condition of Payoga Vipati, we have no access to knowledge, and we cannot work hard, and we stay lazy. And if we allow ourselves to be forgetful, to envy, to be jealous, to trigger our anger, and to express hatred, and to be proud of ourselves, if we allow ourselves to have such qualities and remain such qualities in ourselves, then we are attracting akusala karma to come easily, because they are the best nutritions for akusala to come. And some more notes about karma. So the of evil deeds can produce effects only when vipatti conditions prevail. The effects of past good deeds come only when sampati conditions are ambient. And this is the right belief or the right view. Why we call this the right belief? It is to reject the view that all the good things or all the bad things come because of karma and it is already decided. That is the wrong view. So we know that they are just the conditions to attract or to balance, to attract good karmas or to balance with the bad karmas. So with our hard working in this life and the seeds of karmas in previous lives, then we receive the results right now. Not only karma, it also depends on our hard work in this life. And the next point, karma has reciprocal effects. Reciprocal means whatever you give, that will decide whatever you get. So if you give donation and you spend a lot of efforts to keep sila and to do meditation, then all of the good deeds will come to you in the equal amount. So that's why we say each type of wholesome deed, you can remember the 10 meritorious acts in the last slides, then it produces corresponding results in equal measure. But remember, it also applies for akusala. So if you give donation, but in your heart, you are not happy about it, then in the future, your giving out of money will come back to you. You can be rich, but because you were not happy when you give out, so in the future, you could be rich, but you will be unhappy rich person. So it is very important to keep in mind whatever you do, what is your intention. And the last one, if you have the aim to attain Nibbana, first, get rid of all evil thoughts. Second, pave the noble way along the samsara by doing as much wholesome deed as possible, because the wholesome deeds will help you to prevent or to balance all the bad deeds to be expressed in your life. And whatever good deeds you have done, remember to direct the merits to the ending of reincarnation so that you don't have to be reborn again. Please remember this important point. And the next theme in the book is about the mind immediately preceding death. So there are 4 reasons when we die. We die because our expiry of lifespan comes to the end. At this moment of the world cycle, the average age of a person is about 75. So if we die at 75, it's normal because it's the lifespan of humans at this time. So at the Buddha time, it's about 100 years for the average age. There is the logic how long one can live. So for human, it can be as low as 10 years old, and it can be as unlimited years old, depending on how the planet is formed and is destroyed. The second reason is death due to cessation of karma forces. So I have not much experiences in this form. And I have a question, what attribute to this karma forces? So let's leave this. If someone knows the answer, please share. The third one is death caused by both the two above factors. And the last one is untimely death. For example, we have an accident, or let's say someone who has COVID now and suddenly die because of COVID. So we are not supposed to die at this time, but there are conditions coming on our way and cut off our lifetime. Some evil deeds done in the past suddenly come to fruition. Evil karma effects cause them to die an untimely death. Some very grave evil karma can produce immediate effect. So there are stories of certain people, Dusi, Nanda, and King Kalabu. Due to their evil karma, they were immediately swallowed by earth in their present lives because of their bad acts. I think against some Buddhas in the past, so you can search in the internet for these names. So there is a metaphor for the four above mentioned reasons. The first one, we imagine there is a candle. So when there is no fuel, then the light has to be gone. The second one, the burning of the wick. And the third one, combination of 1 and 2, when both of them are gone, the light went off. And number 4, external cause such as sudden wind or someone blows the light. So that is the metaphor. And we should remember that our mind-body continuum is accompanied by both bad and good karma forces. But if we are negligent with our living habits, we invite bad karma of the past to take effect. And nowadays, in our modern world, people are busy and people do many things at the same time. They are distracted by lots of entertainment, lots of worries and stress. So that's why many disasters come. So who wish to live their life to the full lifespan, they should safeguard their lives with mindfulness and knowledge. When we are mindful, bad karma have no conditions to take effect. And now let's talk about our mind before death. So half an hour before the death of someone, the final consciousness is very important to decide for our next life. And it depends on the object of mind, aramana in Pali. And it is said that there are 3 aramana that can happen in one's consciousness before death. First is the karma, which is reflection on good and bad, good or bad deeds done in the past in a dreamlike vision. So as a teacher, you may reflect that you have done good things teaching your students and your students are successful, for example. And the second one is karma nimitta. Karma nimitta refers to the utensils or the instruments that one used in the job or what one often does, either good or bad. So maybe nowadays a teacher can see the laptop because he might use a lot of laptop in his teaching, or a farmer may see the tractor. So whatever instruments that they use in their job that is repeated, they may see it. And the third one is Gati Nimitta, is the vision of the plane of existence that he might be born in the future. And we can also, as relatives of people, of the dying person, we can also check the facial expression of the dying person, or what kind of words he or she is murmuring, to guess what state he is in and what kind of aramana is happening in his mind. So important information. Teachers, friends, and relatives have the responsibility to have good aramanas appear to a dying person when this person is still capable of directing his mind on this object, so on good objects. Maintain maximum cleanliness in the room and the surrounding area. Offer scented flowers intending for the Buddha. The whole room should be well illuminated at night, and we should tell the dying person to visualize the flowers or candles offered on his behalf and ask him to be delighted with the good deed. And we can also start or ask this dying person to recite the Parita Sutta, not on the last day, but many days in advance, so that the mind of the dying person can suffuse in thoughts of kusala action dedicated to the Buddha or and Dharma. And the patient should not feel disheartened, and the people who look after him should not show grief. So all the conditions are conducive to bring about really positive and wholesome objects of his mind, so that it can help him to have good reincarnation. And to have a good death consciousness is not as easy as one might think. First, one must die with as little pain as possible, as mild an ailment as possible. Second, there needs to be good relatives and friends nearby to help the dying person on his deathbed. Therefore, it is better and more beneficial that the person himself prepares for the future life rather than to wait for the last moment help. That means each of us should live morally and prepare for our dying days so as to have good rebirth along the samsara until we attain Nibbana. And also important information in Theravāda Buddhism tradition, immediately after death consciousness of one's life, rebirth consciousness arises in new life. These two timing have no interval. So the Theravāda Buddhism tradition believes that there is immediate life and not 49 days in between. There are two wrong beliefs regarding reincarnation. So the first wrong belief is that there is a soul moving from one body to another body. That is called sasata dithi. And another belief that is wrong is ucheda dithi, which rejects that there is something after death. And this belief says after death, there is nothing. So two of these beliefs are considered wrong. And the next or coming existences of living beings are determined by avijja, ignorance, tanha, attachment, and karma. These three are good conditions to push for the next life. A new existence is not the transmigration of the old one. It is also not independent from the old one. When past karma is wholesome, the present life will be good, both in mind and matter. If the past karma is evil, so will be the present life. The good experiences in the present life are accounted by two factors: the deeds done in the past and one's knowledge and diligence in this life. So again, the lesson from this is we can decide for our rebirth by working hard, learning the Dhamma and practicing the right Dhamma. Next theme is Patisanti, or the nature of rebirth. Vietnamese is tái sinh. Patisanti is the formation of chittas, cetasikas, and rupa in a new existence in accordance with one's karma. There are 4 types of patisanti. First is hóa sinh, Opapatika patisanti. So there are Deva, Brahma, or sinners in hell, or Petas, Asurakaya. They are reborn already as a mature grown-up beings without passing through fetal and infant stages. And in addition, the first human beings who came into this world, into this earth, when the world cycle started, they also came by this method, that there were no mother and father. And the second type is thap sinh samsidaja patisanti. They are born out of moisture. Most insects belong to this type, but there are some exceptions that human beings were born from this method, but the number is not very few. The third one is noãn sinh antaja patisanti. So these are beings who are hatched out of eggs, chickens or turtles, some such animals. And number 4 is thai sinh, jajabuja patisanti, born from a womb. So humans, mammals, sometimes inferior level of devas, they are born from the wombs of mothers. So there are 3 necessary conditions for such conception from the wombs. So the Pali word is gapaseyaka. Number 1, the mother-to-be must have menstruation recently. Number 2, there must be a sexual union. That means there is the father contribution and the mother contribution. And the third one, the child-to-be must have died in his previous existence. So with these 3 conditions, the pregnancy will take about 7 to 15 days of sexual union between parents. And the very first unit of pregnancy of the new existence is called kalala. That is a droplet, and is considered to be the very first stage of formulation of fetus. And the size is so small beyond our description. And coming next, there are 4 types of individuals, Pugala. So let's just go through all of this text. First is người lạc vô nhân, Dugati Ahetuka Pugala. Nhân is Hetu, and that refers to the 3 types of wholesome chitta. The chitta that is not greed, non-greed chitta, non-aversion chitta, and non-ignorance chitta. So when there is no chitta root, that means these beings are in the woeful planes without the non-greed, non-hatred, and non-delusion chitta accompanying their birth consciousness. The second type is người khổ vô nhân. Oh, maybe I make a mistake. The first one is người khổ vô nhân, and the second one is người lạc vô nhân, Sugati Ahituka Pugala. So these are the human beings. They are born in good planes, but they are not accompanied, their mind is not accompanied by three Alobha, Adosa, and Amoha Chittas. So their Chittas are so weak in the Kusala quality, so they are born blind, dumb, deaf, or with disability. Some are born sexless, some as bisexual beings, some are devas, but they have no power and they have to ask other devas for support of accommodation. The third one is người nhị nhân, Dvehetuka Pugala. So these are persons who are born as human or devas because of their good deeds, but they don't have the Amoha Chitta, which is the insight or the wisdom Chitta. And or even if they have the Amoha, but it's so weak, and that's why it's not satisfactory enough to become the next người tam nhân category. And the last one is người tam nhân Tihetuka Pugala. So they are born in the human world or the Deva planes. These individuals are intelligent, wise. They can achieve jhana, magga, and phala if they accomplish parami perfections. And if they determine to really practice, they can achieve these results. Only laziness and lack of discipline can prevent them from becoming Ariya persons. So the number 3, whatever hard work they put in, they cannot achieve the magga and phala. So this for you to look at later, how many planes are there and what type of people in which plane. So here is the list of the 8 types of Ariya. So coming to this interesting knowledge, which is a plane of existence. In our last presentation, we presented to you the 31 planes of existence. And with this map, it is quite comprehensive to planes are locating. Unfortunately, I don't have the English translation, but let's imagine that there are lots of grapes, and one grape is actually this one green image here. And one grape, there are, in the middle is the Mount Meru. So here is Núi Tu Di. And on the top of the Mount Meru, there is Cung Trời Đao Lợi, Tatavimsa. And at the bottom of Mount Meru, there is the life or the plane of the Atula. And we live, there is 4 orange, so that is northern continent, southern continent, eastern continent, and western continent. So our earth is on the southern continent and the orange end. And there we have 8 hells, and the hell is under the earth. And then you can, I can show you here. There are 3, imagine there are 3 grapes, and in the middle there is the space, and there is the hell. There is one kind of hell in between, and it's completely dark. There is no light coming here. And also one important plane, which is Tứ Đại Thiên Vương. The manager, let's say the manager of hell, he lives in this plane. His name is, he is called Yama. And one important information, when we die and if we are supposed to go to hell, we will have kind of interview with Yama. And he will ask us different questions to remind us what have we done, if we have done some good deeds, if we can remind, if we can tell some good deeds we have made, then there is a chance that we don't have to go to hell. But if we don't remember any good deed, then he will ask his staff to bring us to different kind of hell correspond to our akusala. But he will also ask a question if we have done any good deeds and we share the merit to him. So remember a lesson for us, if we share the merits, remember to share to Yama, the manager of hell. And so here are also different higher plane of existence. Tha hóa tự tại, hóa lạc thiên, đâu xuất dạ ma. Here they have their celestial palaces or mansions. Yeah, that's all I can tell. And in this picture, you can see S. That means sơ thiền, nhị thiền, tam thiền, tứ thiền. This image explains how the world comes to the end. So L is lửa, N is nước, and G is gió. The world will come to the end either by fire, by flooding, or by wind. And if by fire, then it will burn not only one of the grape, but it will burn 1,000 billion grapes. And it will burn also this sphere of the first jhana. And then if it's ended by water or flooding, it will flood until the second jhana sphere. And if it's destroyed by wind, it will destroy up to the third jhana sphere. And by that time, all the beings who practice or who meditate hard, because they know the end of the world is coming, then they will be reborn, I think in the from the fourth jhana sphere and above. So that when the world comes to formation again, then they will come down in the next reincarnation, depending on their karma. So that's it from our presentation. Some of this you can see by yourself. And here is the reference. I really recommend that you read the book Abhidhamma in Daily Life by Ashin Janaka Bifamsa. It's simply written, easy to understand, with lots of good, useful information. And the charts we get from abhidhamma.com, and the images we got from this second website. Lots of useful information if you want to pursue Abhidhamma study. So thank you very much.
Thank you. The presentation of the team support team, right? Okay. Okay, so now do you have any question for this term? If you have any question, please raise your hand. somehow like a support team, and they make a like summarize, right? A general knowledge about Abhidhamma and mention all the main points. And so like if you really want to learn, then you can, you know, check step by step and be aspects there, mention all, right, everything. If you have no question, I will speak something a little bit in Vietnamese, is right. Thì Abhidhamma thì tới cái thời điểm này thì chắc mọi người nghe chắc cũng đã chóng mặt rồi, thì thôi thầy tôi cũng không có nói gì thêm nhiều. Nhưng mà có một cái số cái chia sẻ, nếu mà chúng ta thực hành pháp của bậc giác ngộ của Đức Phật, nếu mà chúng ta học thêm về Abhidhamma nữa thì chúng ta sẽ thấy mọi việc, mọi sự vật nó sẽ khác với nhiều so với cái việc mà mình thực hành chỉ đơn thuần mình học từ kinh. Ví dụ như khi mà mình học nhiều về Abhidhamma, mình sẽ tiếp xúc về danh sắc, chitta, cetasika, rupa, thì nghe nhiều, tiếp xúc nhiều, từ từ sẽ nhìn tất cả mọi thứ thì chỉ thấy là gì, nama và rupa thôi. Từ từ mình sẽ quen cái tâm, mình nhìn cái vấn đề, nhìn cái sự việc, những cái con người, những cái câu chuyện xung quanh, từ từ mình sẽ không thấy, tức là những cái suy nghĩ, những cái khái niệm về sự vật, sự việc, con người, những cái tư duy, những cái định kiến của mình về mọi thứ, nó từ từ nó sẽ yếu đi. Bắt đầu mình nhìn cái sự vật là giống như là gì, thấy nó như là thấy sự vật đúng cái bản chất của nó. Thì ví dụ như đơn thuần nhất là khi mình tiếp xúc nhiều, mình sẽ thấy là người nam, người nữ. Rồi khi mà nói chuyện, nói người nữ thì thường ác nghiệp là nghiệp nặng cho nên sinh ra làm thân người nữ này nọ, ví dụ như vậy. Nghe thì nhiều người nhiều người rất là chống đối, rất là khó chịu cái chuyện kỳ thị nam nữ. Nhưng mà khi mà mình học sâu về vi diệu pháp, mình sẽ thấy mình sẽ biết được cái sắc pháp nào, cái nghiệp là cái gì đó, những cái loại tâm nào, những cái loại nghiệp nào nó sẽ đẩy ra sinh ra cái thân. Có cái gì, cái sắc là gì, thể hiện cái hình tướng ở bên ngoài, là người nam hay là người nữ. Khi mình nhìn, mình chỉ nhìn vào cái sắc pháp thì mình sẽ thấy cái sự vật khác. Và cái nhìn, cái suy nghĩ, cái tư duy của mình cũng rộng mở hơn. Rồi cái tâm mình nó cũng cái tâm mình nó nhìn cái sự việc thấy nó cũng nó khách quan hơn. Rồi kết hợp với cái việc hành thiền, vipassana, hành thiền tâm từ, rồi đọc những cái kiến thức ở chú giải, những cái câu chuyện về tiền thân của Đức Phật, hay là những cái bài kinh đó, đọc nhiều cái kết hợp lại mình sẽ thấy nó khác. Rồi đặc biệt ở Myanmar có nhiều vị thiền sư hướng dẫn thiền cũng sẽ dùng vi diệu pháp để nói về thiền. Thì cái phần tiếp theo, cái buổi học tuần sau thì chúng ta sẽ quay lại về cái chủ đề về thiền tâm từ và thiền định, nhưng mà sẽ nhiều thông tin hơn và có nhiều cái kiến thức hơn. Thì hy vọng là mọi người thấy cái chủ đề, những cái chủ đề nó gần gũi và nó hấp dẫn hơn, nó thú vị hơn. Còn Abhidhamma thì nhiều quý vị chưa có quen, chưa có tiếp xúc, mình chưa có qua được cái giai đoạn gọi là gì, làm quen, thì chưa bắt đầu chạm được những cái hay, những cái thú vị. Thực sự Abhidhamma nếu đã học rồi thì nó có cái tính chất gây nghiện nha mọi người. Đã học rồi rất là mê, sẽ thấy nhiều cái hay. Và học Abhidhamma thì cũng sẽ giúp mình giải thích được nhiều cái vấn đề mà thường mọi người hay thắc mắc. Ví dụ như là mình sinh ra làm gì, mình đã từ đâu sinh ra cái cõi đời này để làm gì, rồi sau khi chết sẽ đi về đâu, ví dụ như vậy đó. Thì học kỹ về Abhidhamma, về thực hành một thời gian nhất định, từ từ mình sẽ biết mình từ đâu mình đi ra, rồi từ đâu mình đang sống như thế nào, rồi tương lai mình sẽ đi về đâu. Bắt đầu cái con đường mình sẽ thấy nó tương đối rõ. Có thể là mình không thấy chắc chắn được 100%, không có thấy được chắc chắn 100%, nhưng sẽ thấy được chung chung là cái hướng đi của mình đang đi hướng nào. Còn ở một số cái trường hợp ví dụ như có những cái quý vị mình đã giữ 5 giới, từ 5 giới trở lên cực kỳ trong sạch có cái phát nguyện, thì cái lúc cận tử có thể thấy được cái cảnh tiếp theo mà mình sẽ đi về đâu, hoặc là có ước nguyện muốn tái sinh như cái chỗ nào đó thì cũng sẽ được. Rồi hồi nhỏ thì nghe nói hỏi ba mẹ con sinh sao, nói sinh từ cái cây lụm từ trên cây về. Nó là những cái câu chuyện nghe nó đùa, nhưng mà khi mà mình học vi diệu pháp mình sẽ học từ những cái điều ví dụ như là có những cái thể loại sinh lên như thế nào, ví dụ như là nặng sinh là sinh từ trứng, thấp sinh sinh những cái vùng ẩm ướt, thai sinh là sinh từ bụng mẹ, rồi có một cái hình thức sinh là gì? Hóa sinh. Hóa sinh là gì? Từ trong không khí tự nhiên bùng sinh ra. Thì mình hiểu một cách thú vị ha, cái tốc độ hài hước tí xíu như vậy. Thì bình thường thì có nhiều cái vấn đề về pháp của Đức Phật rất là khó tin, nhưng nó cũng có những cái vấn đề người ta thần thánh hóa nó lên. Nhưng khi mình học vi diệu pháp mình thấy có nhiều vấn đề giải thích rất là khoa học, có logic, có khoa học, và có những cái ví dụ như nó đi trên cái cơ sở phải có những cái loại tâm nhất định, ví dụ như là thiền như thế nào đó, sơ thiền, nhị thiền, tam thiền thì mới bắt đầu thấy danh sắc nó ở cái cấp độ khác. Thì khi mà mình giữ giới chưa có trong sạch, người mình cực kỳ ô nhiễm thì mình còn nhiều cái định kiến, nhiều cái vô minh, thì những cái đó mình chưa thấy được. Nhưng mà khi mình học pháp, mình thực hành từ từ bắt đầu mình có cái trí tuệ, mình khai mở, thì những cái vấn đề đó mình sẽ thấy nó hợp lý, và có cái sự chứng nghiệm đó, thì mình biết chắc là nó có. Rồi có những cái cảnh giới, cái cảnh giới thấp bên dưới sinh ra cõi người, rồi 6 cái cõi hữu sắc, rồi sau đó là những cái cõi vô sắc. Rồi mình cũng được học hồi nãy cũng có việc lửa, nước và gió, thì cái sự hủy diệt thì của một cái gọi là giống như trái đất đi, một cái trái đất, rồi một cái hệ 31 cõi khi mình nó đến cái nó có gì sinh trụ hoại diệt, thì nó đi theo cái chu kỳ như vậy. Thì cái khả năng mà phá hủy thì phá hủy của cái lửa, lửa thì bình thường mình nghe đất rồi nước nước gió lửa thì mình thấy lửa nó mạnh, nhưng mà trên thực tế thì lửa chỉ hủy diệt tới cái cảnh sơ thiền thôi, nhưng mà nước thì nó hủy, nó phá hủy tới cái cảnh nhị thiền, cái cõi nhị thiền, và gió phá hủy tới cái cảnh tam thiền, cái cõi tam thiền đó. Thì có những cái câu chuyện là khi mà cái thế giới bắt đầu nó bị hủy diệt như vậy, thì cái cõi người bắt đầu bị hủy diệt, thì có những cái câu chuyện những cái vị ở những cái cõi cao hơn xuống khuyến khích cõi người, những cái cõi khác tu tập để mà chứng từ tứ thiền trở lên, để tái sinh vào những cái cõi tứ thiền thì không có bị hủy diệt như vậy. Thì có những cái câu chuyện rất là thú vị. Rồi khi mình học về những cái duyên hệ cũng sẽ giải thích được nhiều vấn đề. Nói chung học vi diệu pháp rất là mênh mông, rất là thú vị, nhưng mà quý vị phải vượt qua được cái giai đoạn là nhàm chán khô khan thì tùy duyên thôi. Ví dụ như đó có bạn Mariette đó, bạn rất là kiểu như đam mê về cảm thấy được cái thú vị, cái hấp dẫn và những cái kiến thức của Abhidhamma, thì mình sẽ tìm hiểu thấy như vậy. Rồi quay trở lại cái bài tập cho tuần sau. Chúng ta học tới tuần này là tuần 12 rồi, nhiều quý vị cũng đuối mà cũng cảm thấy nhàm chán như thế nào đó, hay là bận rộn nhiều lý do đó, thì rất là mong những quý vị nào mà có cái tâm học hỏi thì mình cứ tiếp tục. Cái khóa học của chúng ta thì định thần là đầu voi đuôi chuột, giờ tôi thấy cái đuôi chuột rồi. Khi mà khai giảng rất là đông, nhưng mà từ từ học qua những cái tuần thì cái số người học cũng giảm xuống, rồi số người nhiệt tình cho cái việc làm bài tập thuyết trình cũng giảm xuống. Nhưng mà càng về sau nó đã có những cái hay và những cái thú vị, nó đi sâu hơn, và nó cũng có cái gọi là cái huân tập, nó bồi dưỡng cho chúng ta những cái kiến thức, những cái kinh nghiệm cũng như những cái kỹ năng, nó thấm nhuần, nó càng ngày càng sâu vào. Ví dụ như những cái buổi đầu khóa học khi mà nói về thiền thì thường mình chỉ biết về thiền Vipassana hay về giữ giới chung chung, nhưng mà càng học về sau thì mình hiểu biết sâu hơn về ba tạng, tạng lực, tạng kinh và tạng vi diệu pháp. Đó, mình có cái kiến thức chung, rồi bắt đầu mình đọc cái chỗ này đọc chỗ kia, bắt đầu là những cái kiến thức càng ngày nó mà dũa được học theo nhiều cái góc độ khác nhau, những cái cấp độ khác nhau. Mình càng ngày mình càng chín mùi, càng hiểu sâu pháp và thuần thục trong pháp. Thì sau này những cái quý vị mà gọi là thấm nhuần như vậy, khi mà mình sẽ ứng dụng được cái Phật pháp, những cái gì Đức Phật dạy trong cái cuộc sống hàng ngày của mình, cũng như là mình ứng dụng trong cái việc mình thực hành về thiền, đi đến cái hướng giải thoát, và mình sẽ thấy được rõ cái con đường nào đi là con đường đúng đắn. Mình không có dễ bị dẫn dắt bởi những cái quý vị, những cái người mà có những cái hướng dẫn không có đúng những cái lời dạy của Đức Phật. Đó. Thì hiện giờ cái tình hình đó rất là nhiều, có nhiều quý vị, nhiều người họ có cái khả năng, họ nói rất là thuyết phục, nghe rất là hay, rồi họ có những cái sự ảnh hưởng của những người xung quanh, cho nên họ dễ gây uy tín, dễ thu hút chúng ta. Nhưng mà nếu mà đối với những cái người mà hiểu sâu về pháp, đã thực hành, đã có cái khả năng tự mình đối chiếu, kiểm chứng lại những cái gì thì mình sẽ không có dễ dàng mà đi lạc hướng theo những người đó. Thì cái đó là rất là quan trọng. Thì cũng rất là mong mọi người tiếp tục cố gắng. Rồi thì chủ đề đó, tôi nhắc lại ha, chủ đề tiếp theo chúng ta sẽ lặp lại cái chủ đề là gì? Về thiền về tâm tư, rồi thiền về thiền định đó. Nhưng mà cái phần này thì mọi người nên tìm hiểu sâu hơn một chút, cộng với những cái thực hành thực tế đó. Quý vị nào hay là những cái nhóm nào, hay là mình tìm thêm những cái tài liệu mà nó có cái tính thực hành thực tiễn, thì mình đào sâu về cái hướng đó. Cái cách học của mình gì luôn luôn là gì? Có một cái phần lý thuyết và cái phần ứng dụng đó. Mục đích là nắm có lý thuyết, vững lý thuyết và ứng dụng thực tế. Thì cái khóa học chúng ta sẽ từ đầu đến giờ thì vẫn luôn luôn giữ cái tiêu chí đó, mình học để mình thực hành. Về cái phần Samatha Bhavana thì nó cũng sẽ có một số cái thông tin mới. Ví dụ như cái sách của ông Dr. Motin Mon, người Miến Điện, thì cái vị này là một trong những cái vị học giả cũng rất là giỏi, người Miến hiện đang còn sống đó, thì viết sách, và vị này cũng có những cái thực hành. Thì cái tuần này tôi cũng đưa cái sách của vị là Mem Tin Mon, mọi người được đọc. Rồi cái sách của Sayadaw Nanda Malabivansa thì mọi người cũng cứ đọc. Cái này thì mình cũng mấy tuần trước là khi học mình cũng đã nhắc qua rồi, nhưng mà tuần này mình đọc lại thêm và chú ý tập trung vào cái sách của vị này, vị tiến sĩ Mem Tin Mon. Cái lịch chia cho mọi người thì tôi cũng đã chia lịch rồi, thì mọi người vào đây để cập nhật hàng tuần. Thì có nhóm 9, team 9 thì cũng muốn xin học dự thính, rồi sau hôm nay có thêm team 10 nữa, team 10. Thì thôi, mọi người muốn dự thính cứ dự thính, đến lúc nào tất cả các nhóm, không có nhóm nào muốn làm bài tập nữa thì chúng ta sẽ đi theo hình thức là gì, mỗi tuần có một nhóm xung phong. Rồi những cái quý vị nào hay những cái bạn nào mà có cái gì đó, cái yêu thích, cái mong muốn tìm hiểu về một cái chủ đề đó, thì mình có thể thành lập một nhóm 2 người, 3 người, 5 người đó để tìm hiểu, để chuẩn bị những cái chủ đề đó mình chia sẻ. Giống như cái nhóm hỗ trợ, mọi người thấy không, chỉ có 2 người thôi nhưng mà làm việc rất là tốt, khi mà mình có những cái kỹ năng nhất định về ngôn ngữ, về cái khả năng tìm hiểu, thu thập tài liệu, cách xử lý thông tin này nọ, thì những cái kỹ năng này tương đối nó khó và nó gọi là kỹ năng cao cấp, nhưng mà mình chưa có thì mình cứ tập. Hay là nhóm lớp chúng ta có chị Hoài My thì những cái ngày đầu tiếng Anh chị cũng tương đối lên xuống, nhưng mà sau nhiều cái buổi học thì chị có nhiều cái cố gắng thì mình có sẽ thấy, như bản thân tôi nhìn vào tôi thấy chị có rất là nhiều cái sự tiến bộ, mặc dù cũng cần còn nhiều thứ để phải học tiếp, nhưng mà mình nhìn chung so với mấy tháng trước cái bây giờ mình đã ở một cái cấp độ khác, thì ai cũng vậy, tôi cứ cố gắng. Rồi thì đó, ở đây thì mọi người nhóm nào làm việc thì cứ tiến hành đó, còn nhóm nào không làm gì hết thì ít nhất trưởng nhóm hay một cái thành viên nào đó cũng nên nhắn tin cho tôi biết. Ví dụ như tuần này là phân cho nhóm 1 và nhóm 2 thuyết trình đó. Nhóm 1 không thấy ai nhắn tin, không ai nói gì hết, rồi tới ngày nộp bài cũng không thấy gì, tới giờ cũng không thấy nói gì đó, chỉ có nhóm 2 thôi. Ví dụ như vậy thì mình cũng không nên nhắn tin thông báo một tiếng. Okay, so that's all for this evening. Good night everyone.